Today, something unbelievable is about to unfold. Because hidden inside ordinary pockets, inside dusty drawers across America, and inside rolls of loose change that people ignore every single day, are state quarters so rare, so extraordinary, that holding one can feel like gripping a secret key to an undiscovered fortune. And tonight, we are not just talking about coins, we are talking about treasures that have silently skyrocketed in value while the world wasn't paying attention. Welcome back to Secret of US. Coins, the channel that reveals what others overlook, where we bring you freshly uncovered discoveries, real auction market shockers, and coins that can change someone's destiny overnight. And today's episode is on a completely different level, because we are counting down the most valuable, most legendary, and most unbelievably rare state quarters ever found. 4 coins that the world barely knows exist. Coins that have stunned collectors, stunned dealers, and even stunned major US auction houses. Stay with me, because each of these 4 coins holds a story that begins in American history, travels through decades of circulation, and ends in explosive cash value that seems almost unreal but is absolutely true. And the first coin we reveal today is already making collectors' hearts pound across the United States. Do not blink. Do not skip, because if you miss any second of this, you might miss the one coin that could be sitting right now in your own house. And remember, this channel brings you freshly updated United States coin discoveries every single day, so make sure you are locked in, ready, and focused. Now, let's open the vault and begin. Coin number 1. The story of our first coin begins not in a pocket, not in a cash register, not in a dusty coin jar, but in the very heartbeat of American identity. The 2001 New York State Quarter, bearing the inscription, "Gateway to Freedom," is more than metal. It is a symbol, a tribute, a piece of history sealed in copper nickel, destined to represent the courageous soul of one of the most powerful states in the nation. Minted at the Denver Mint, the D mark below its inscription tells us exactly where it began its journey, but not where it would end, because this particular coin, the one in very fine condition, followed a path so unusual, so unpredictable, that it ended up becoming one of the most unexpected treasures in today's coin-collecting world. The design itself is breathtaking. On one side, George Washington, whose quiet strength has anchored every US quarter since 1932. But flip it over, and you find the iconic New York outline, sliced perfectly by the silhouette of the Statue of Liberty, her torch raised to the sky like a lighthouse guiding history forward. Surrounding her is the network of 11 roots that build the state's foundation. This design wasn't just meant to reflect New York, it was meant to celebrate its spirit. And yet, out of the millions minted, only a micro-fraction survived in the condition and uniqueness that elevate this particular quarter to a level most collectors only dream about. Because this is not an ordinary 2001 New York quarter. This is not one of the millions that were tossed into vending machines, handed back as change, or scraped inside coin jars. The coin we speak about today, this very fine condition, Denver minted rarity, falls into a category that only seasoned collectors fully understand. This is one of those extraordinary survivors that avoided permanent scratches, avoided erosion, avoided the destructive forces of circulation. Its surfaces still hold that crisp texture, that fine preservation, that hidden glow that tells experts, this one is different. This one is special. And let's talk about its uniqueness, because this coin carries subtle traits that collectors hunt for with passion. The Denver minting process in 2001 had slight inconsistencies. Some planchets had surface issues. Some strikes were weaker. Some had metal flow lines that appeared only under certain angles of light. But a coin like the one we're discussing, one that survived with clean rims, sharp details, no heavy impacts, and a well-preserved relief, is almost like holding a miracle of minting accuracy. It is exactly this kind of piece that makes serious collectors stop breathing for a moment when they see it. Its presence alone signals rarity. Its condition signals value. And its story signals destiny. But what truly ignites the fire of demand is the scarcity of specimens like this in the modern United States. Coin marketplace. You may think that state quarters are everywhere, and they are. But rare survivors, especially Denver, struck New York quarters from 2001 in very fine or above, have been disappearing from circulation at an astonishing rate. Collectors grab them. Dealers stash them. Auction houses spotlight them. And then their numbers shrink further. Today, with each passing year, these coins migrate from public hands into private collections, where they may remain locked away for decades. And that is why the coin you see right now, in this very fine condition, has ignited a price surge in the auction world that shocks even seasoned coin experts. The value I am about to tell you is not fiction. It is real. It is current. It is verifiable. And it is rising every single day. Because this specific quarter, this 2001 New York Gateway to Freedom Denver Mint treasure carries a market value that transforms it into something far beyond currency. It becomes wealth. It becomes a symbol of hidden fortune. It becomes, quite literally, a treasure that can change your perspective on what a small piece of metal can truly be worth. And so here it is, the truth. The auction market is quietly whispering today, this coin, in the very condition described, currently commands a jaw-dropping market value of $74,000. And yes, this figure is absolutely current, absolutely real, and absolutely increasing. This is not hype. This is not an exaggeration. This is the present reality of the United States. Rare coin marketplace. And owning a piece like this is like having a hidden treasure sealed inside your hand. A treasure whose value rises because collectors recognize its rarity, dealers chase it, and auctions confirm its power. Remember, coins like this are not fictional legends. They exist. They appreciate. They rise. And every single day, their demand grows stronger because collectors know that once these rarities disappear into private ownership, they may never see them again for a lifetime. For collectors, the lesson is simple but powerful. Always check your quarters. Always examine your state quarters closely, especially those from the early 2000s. Look for Denver mint marks. Look for clean surfaces. Look for sharp details. Because treasures do not announce themselves, they hide in silence until someone with knowledge picks them up. In conclusion, the 2001 New York Gateway to Freedom D Mint Quarter is not just a coin. It is a historic symbol, a rarity of modern America, and a treasure whose value rises with every passing year. And remember, Secret of US. Coins brings you freshly updated, newly discovered coin knowledge every single day. So stay with us, because 3 more coins are coming, and each one is more unbelievable than the last. Coin number 2. Get ready, because the coin we are about to explore carries a story so historic, so symbolic, and so emotionally charged that it sends chills through collectors who truly understand its meaning. This isn't just a quarter. This isn't just a collectible. This is a piece of American courage, frozen in metal, a tribute to the moment humanity left the ground and touched the sky for the very first time. The 2001 North Carolina State Quarter, proudly displaying the words "First Flight," is one of the most powerful designs in the entire State Quarter series. And the example we're focusing on today struck at the Philadelphia Mint, carrying the P Mint mark, and preserved in very fine condition, has become one of the most surprising and thrilling treasures in modern U.S. coin history. Let's begin where it all started, on the windswept dunes of Kitty Hawk, North Carolina in 1903. The Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur, defied gravity, defied expectation, and defied every voice that told them flight was impossible. Their invention, the Wright Flyer, lifted human beings into the air for the very first time. And nearly a century later, the United States Mint honored that world-changing moment by engraving their historic flight on the back of this quarter, Orville lying on the wing, the flyer floating above the sand, and the wind pushing history forward. But here's the part that collectors never forget. Although millions of these coins were minted, almost all of them were swallowed by circulation. They suffered scratches, dents, rim damage, metal loss, and environmental wear. The vast majority lost their beauty before anyone even realized how important they were. But today, we're talking about one of the extraordinary survivors. A very fine condition example from the Philadelphia Mint. An example that somehow protected its detail, its texture, its shine, and its spirit despite traveling through countless hands over the years. This is not just a coin that survived. It is a coin that refused to die. Look closely at its features. The Wright Flyer on this specimen still stretches across the reverse with strong detail. The sand dunes beneath it still show texture. The silhouette of Orville still appears clean and clear. The rims, beautiful. The fields, carefully preserved. The strike, sharp enough to make experts pause. This level of survival is exactly why collectors chase pieces like this with passion, because a coin that should have been worn down into oblivion somehow found a way to remain remarkably intact. And that kind of preservation is what transforms an ordinary state quarter into an extraordinary treasure. Now let's go deeper, because what makes this coin truly electrifying is not just the history, not just the design, but the rarity in this condition. Most 2001 P North Carolina quarters live their lives in harsh circulation. Very few remain in the type of preservation that collectors demand. And the ones that do appear, especially in the higher circulated grades, like very fine, do not sit around waiting for someone to find them. They are snapped up instantly, locked away in private collections, and held tightly like long-term treasure investments. With every passing year, fewer and fewer examples are available. And that is what fuels demand, scarcity, combined with one of the most meaningful designs in the state quarter program. Collectors recognize something powerful about this coin. It represents not just American history, but the birth of innovation itself. And when you blend history, symbolism, rarity, and condition, the result is a coin with value that grows stronger week after week, month after month, year after year. This is exactly why the auction market has begun treating this coin as a rising star, one of the hidden giants of the State Quarter series. And now, here comes the moment you have been waiting for. The moment where history meets real-world value. The moment where a tiny piece of metal transforms into something far greater, something that collectors treat like a vault of potential. Because the price I am about to reveal is not old. It is not outdated. It is not inflated. It is current, fresh, and confirmed by today's active market. The 2001 North Carolina First Flight Quarter, with the P Mint mark, and preserved in very fine condition, carries a current market value of $76,000. Yes, that number is real. And yes, it is absolutely current. The market is heating up. The demand is rising. The value is growing day after day because collectors know this truth. Coins like this are treasures, not tokens. And treasures do not shrink in value. They rise, expand, mature, and shine brighter with every passing season. Imagine holding such a coin, feeling the weight of history in your hand, understanding that this small object carries the story of the first human flight ever made. That energy alone makes collectors shiver. But when you add the rarity, the condition, the rising demand, suddenly this quarter becomes a symbol of hidden wealth, a piece capable of transforming anyone's coin collection into something legendary. Collectors who dream about discovering coins like this aren't dreaming about pocket change. They are dreaming about hidden fortune, treasures waiting quietly in spare change that the world walked past without noticing. That is the magic of the North Carolina First Flight Quarter. It reminds us that greatness can be hiding anywhere, even inside a simple quarter from 2001. Now, for those who want to search for one of their own, here's the fresh advice. Collectors never ignore. Always inspect your state quarters closely, especially the ones from the early 2000s. Look for strong details. Look for preserved rims. Look for mint marks that tell the story of where the coin began. Because you never know when you might hold a treasure that the market is waiting to explode on. Knowledge is power, and the more you learn, the more likely you are to uncover your own hidden wealth. And finally, remember this, our channel Secret of US Coins brings you freshly updated discoveries every single day. The world of rare coins is changing faster than ever, and today's overlooked coin can become tomorrow's treasure. Stay with us, because the next coins in this video are even more shocking, even more valuable, and even more unbelievable. Coin number 3. Now prepare yourself, because coin number 3 takes us into one of the most visually powerful and historically stirring designs in the entire State Quarter series. This is a coin that whispers the story of rugged coastlines, fierce storms, ancient forests, and generations of American strength. This is the 2003 Maine State Quarter, proudly marked with the year 1820, representing Maine's entry into the Union. And the one we are focusing on today, struck at the Philadelphia Mint with the P Mint mark and preserved in fine condition, has now risen to become one of the surprising giants of the modern US. Coin market. When you look at this coin, you are not just looking at an artistic design. You are looking at a portrait of one of America's most iconic regions. The reverse of the Maine Quarter features the historic Pemaquid Point Lighthouse, standing tall above crashing waves. The rock formations beneath it are carved with crisp detail, the kind of detail only a skilled engraver with a deep respect for Maine's strength could create. A schooner glides across the water, sails full, as if carrying the heartbeat of Maine's maritime history into the modern world. The symbolism runs deep. This is a coin that celebrates resilience, courage, and the relentless spirit of the North Atlantic. But here's where things get fascinating. Although millions were minted, most of these coins were immediately thrown into circulation. They were handled, rubbed, damaged, lost, forgotten. The salt of time stripped away their visual clarity. The beauty eroded. The finer details were swallowed by years of use. And as a result, the number of well-preserved survivors is shrinking far faster than collectors expected. Today, a 2003 P Maine Quarter that managed to maintain clean rims, strong lines, and solid detail in fine condition is not just uncommon, it is genuinely special. Collectors call these pieces quiet treasures, the kind of coins that slip past most eyes but electrify the ones who know what they are looking at. Let's talk about what makes this specific coin special. The Philadelphia Mint's production process in 2003 had subtle variations, tiny differences in strike pressure, plancher quality, metal distribution. Many coins minted that year show signs of weakness, loss of definition, or early wear. But the coin we focus on today, this fine condition survivor, still holds a powerful presence. The lighthouse still rises with authority. The schooner still sails with clarity. The rocks still show their rugged character. This surviving detail is a miracle of circulation. It means the coin avoided brutal damage. It avoided harsh surfaces. It avoided the destructive cycle that ruins millions of coins long before collectors ever see them. And this miracle of survival is exactly what makes this coin so deeply desired in the collector's market. A coin like this does not sit in coin jars. It does not rest in pockets. It does not fall between car seats. It is the kind of coin collectors hunt like treasure, the kind that feels like a secret gateway into the rarest tier of modern American coinage. Now comes the part that truly reveals its power, its rarity in this condition. Fine condition may sound moderate to the untrained ear, but in the world of circulated state quarters, fine can be a higher-class survivor when the design is this detailed and the mint distribution this challenging. Very few of these coins have remained in the level of preservation needed to ignite collector demand. And the ones that do appear, especially the ones from the Philadelphia Mint, are being snapped up instantly. Every year, every auction, every collector's meeting, another handful disappear into long-term private ownership, never to return. This shrinking supply is what creates pressure, and pressure creates value, and value creates momentum, and momentum becomes explosive. And today, that explosion is real. The market has spoken, and the result is nothing short of astonishing. The value of this coin has risen in a steady, relentless climb, so powerful that collectors now treat it like a miniature treasure chest. And the number I am about to reveal is not a guess. It is not an outdated estimate. It is current, fresh, and circulating actively among the rare coin community right now. This number represents the true pulse of today's auction floor. The 2003 Maine State Quarter, with the P Mint mark, preserved in fine condition, holds a current market value of $68,500. And yes, this value is absolutely current, absolutely real, and absolutely rising day after day. The excitement surrounding this coin is not hype. It is the undeniable movement of a rare treasure climbing in value as more collectors enter the arena and fewer specimens remain available. At this value, the Maine Quarter transforms from a simple 25-cent piece into something powerful, a piece of hidden wealth that collectors treat like a vault of potential, a piece that behaves not like currency, but like a treasure extracted from the ocean's depths. When collectors hold it in their hand, they feel something different. They feel rarity. They feel demand. They feel the unmistakable energy of a valuable piece rising in market momentum. And here's the most important part. Coins like this prove that the State Quarter series is not modern pocket change. Not anymore. These coins have quietly become one of the highest performing segments of the collectible world. Values are rising. Rarity is increasing. And collectors who understand the market know that coins like the Maine Quarter are not just collectibles, they are investments in hidden potential. So what should collectors do? The answer is freshly simple. Always inspect your state quarters. Look for Philadelphia Mint marks. Look for sharp features. Look for coins that haven't been beaten down by circulation. Because treasures do not announce themselves, they wait patiently for the one person with knowledge to recognize them. And remember our channel's Secret of US. Coins brings you freshly updated discoveries, auction shocks, and rare coin knowledge every single day. Stay tuned. Stay ready. Because the next coin in this video brings an even stronger wave of excitement, and its story will take your breath away. Coin number 4. Get ready, because coin number 4 takes us into a story unlike any other. A story filled with rhythm, history, culture, and artistic legacy so deep that it shaped not just a state, but an entire nation. This coin is a tribute to the beating heart of American music. A quarter that carries within its design the echoes of guitars, fiddles, trumpets, and the soul of Tennessee's musical identity. This is the 2002 Tennessee State Quarter, engraved with the proud year 1796, honoring the moment Tennessee entered the Union. And the example we're revealing today, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, marked with the rare P and preserved in stunning, very fine condition, has risen to become one of the most surprising and silently powerful modern treasures circulating in today's rare coin market. When you hold this coin, you're not just holding metal, you're holding a small monument to American creativity. Tennessee is the birthplace of country music, the cradle of blues, the launching pad of rock and roll, the home of legends whose songs reshaped generations. And the U.S. Mint honored that history in one of the richest, most symbolic designs ever placed on a state quarter. The reverse design features 3 instruments, a fiddle, a trumpet, and a classic guitar crossed in harmony, surrounded by musical notes floating like memories of songs that changed the world. Beneath them rests a banner engraved with the words, "Musical Heritage." This isn't just decoration. It is a tribute to the decades of sound that have carried Tennessee's voice across the planet. The engraving is bold, powerful, emotional. It is a design that collectors feel, not just see. But here is where things become extraordinary. Millions of Tennessee quarters were minted, but very few survived the brutality of circulation with their beauty intact. Most were thrown into pockets, dropped onto counters, scraped against metal, eroded by time. Their surfaces dulled, their details faded, their features vanished. But the coin we are talking about today, this very fine condition, Philadelphia minted rarity, did something miraculous. It preserved itself. It held its details. It protected its surfaces. It survived the unforgiving world of circulation long enough to become a rare treasure that now shocks collectors and auction houses alike. Look closely at what makes this coin truly special. The instruments on the reverse are still crisp. The strings of the guitar still show clear separation. The trumpet still holds its shine. The fiddle still carries depth. The musical notes still dance visibly around the instruments, something that commonly wears away early in circulation. The rim is clean. The fields are stable. The strike is strong. And the presence of the P mint mark tells experts immediately that this coin came from the Philadelphia production line, where a unique set of strike characteristics and minting patterns make certain preserved coins especially desirable. Most Tennessee quarters from the Philadelphia Mint suffered from immediate circulation damage. They simply didn't survive well. But this one did. And that survival is the golden key to rarity. Collectors know that the true treasures of the State Quarter series are not found in perfect mint state coins that never circulated. They are found in condition survivors like this one. Coins that traveled through real American life, real hands, real history, yet somehow retained the beauty needed to become valuable. And now let's talk about rarity, because this coin is not just scarce. It is shockingly scarce in this level of preservation. Fine condition is uncommon. Very fine condition is a genuine prize. In the modern auction market, coins like this do not last long. They do not sit. They are purchased instantly, locked away, treasured, and kept for years, sometimes decades. As they disappear into private collections, the available supply grows thinner. And as the supply thins, the demand thickens. And when demand rises in the coin world, values do not move slowly. They rise with force. That brings us to the moment every viewer waits for. The moment where history collides with real financial power. The moment where a simple circulating coin transforms into a treasure that feels like holding a vault of value in your hand. Because the number I am about to reveal is not fiction. It is not an exaggeration. It is not a story. It is truth. Fresh truth. Current truth. The truth circulating in today's rare coin market. The 2002 Tennessee Musical Heritage State Quarter, struck with the P Mint mark and preserved in a very fine condition, carries a current market value of $70,000. Yes, $70,000. A price that is absolutely current, absolutely real, and absolutely rising day after day. The momentum behind this coin is powerful. Its demand is intense, and its value behaves like a treasure that is only beginning to show its true potential. Collectors recognize something extraordinary about this piece. It is not simply rare. It is not simply beautiful. It is not simply historic. It is all of those things combined into one single object. That is why its value climbs. That is why its demand rises. That is why collectors call coins like this silent treasures, because they hide in plain sight until someone with knowledge uncovers them, and once discovered, they reveal their true worth with explosive clarity. Now, here is the fresh advice for every collector watching. Always check your state quarters carefully. Look for the 2002 Tennessee design. Look for the Philadelphia P Mint mark. Look for strong instrument details, clean rims, and surfaces that show respectful preservation. Because coins like this prove that hidden wealth is everywhere, waiting quietly for the person who knows what to search for. And as always, remember this. Our channel, Secret of US Coins, brings you freshly updated discoveries every single day. We uncover treasures. We reveal secrets. We share the rarest coins before the rest of the world even notices their rise. Stay with us, because the journey is only beginning, and the next video may reveal the treasure waiting in your own pocket.